Language Lessons 1. This replaces basic language skills. This is now available. But if you wanted to, you could add the Wonders of Creation series. In the series, you have all 9 books, including ecology, but you could get like the astronomy book, the weather book, fossils, oceans book, caves. I mean, all of those books are just exceptional in a family library. Like when you buy from Master Books, you already get a book, $42. You get 26% off. Then if you get 3 or more, it bumps up to 30% off. If you get $75, which almost all of 3 or more sets get in the continental U.S., is free shipping. 4, 5, and 6, like big ages to let a child know, let you know when they're ready, versus pushing them because you want them to be ready. The New Leaf Publishing Group is our parent corporation. Master Books, New Leaf Press, and Attic Books are imprints or kind of divisions of New Leaf Publishing. Good afternoon, everybody. We hope you're having a fantastic week. I think we're live. Does it look like we're live in Facebook? There we go.
There we go.
All right. And I know we're live in the app, so I hope you're having a good afternoon. We're going to do a Q&A today and try to answer some questions. Facebook has changed our format. So all of a sudden they've come up and said, we now have a new Facebook Live, so we're a little discombobulated.
Yeah, a little bit. Everything's like on the opposite side of what it was last week. So
yeah, good thing we have the app.
Lots of people jumping in.
Hey, everybody in the app. Okay, before I get into talking about the questions, I just wanted to make a couple of announcements. Number 1, the America Story 1, 2, and 3 timeline packs are available. Basically, a timeline pack is pictures from within the book in the chapters put on a page, and it's made so you can cut them out, put them on a timeline, and there are timeline strips. So very easy to add a timeline using images from within the book to America Story 1, 2, and 3. If you're watching in Facebook, please comment and let us know you're watching. We want to see if comments come up. You don't see comments?
Nope, I see them if I log into the...
But not live on the video.
Live on the video.
Oh, that's awful.
It's okay. I keep
Okay,
them.
you got them. Good. Okay, the second thing I want to announce is Language Lessons 1. This replaces basic language skills. This is now available and in stock. So yay. I was looking at it. What a nice improvement over basic language skills. Basic language skills has been an awesome curriculum, but this is actually taken over. So that's pretty awesome. So this is in stock as well. And excited about that. Now all 6 levels, grades 1 through 6 of language lessons. Language lessons for living education are now in stock. Ooh, so good stuff. All right, so we're going to do Q&A. If you have any questions, let us know. Brittany's kind of keeping an eye on both the app and the Facebook Live, and we're going to try to answer all the questions that you have.
Awesome. So the first question from the post we posted earlier, Brianna said, will you ever have audio available for America Story and Science?
I think that would be great, and we're looking at different options right now. So at some point, I would say yes, we probably will. I know even my daughter has said on like day 1, where you have a lot of the reading, it would be nice to be able to have her sons listen to an audio of the reading pages and do that. So it seems like it's an easy request. It's a little more complicated when you're looking at distribution and all of that, but it's something that we're definitely will look into.
Awesome. Stephanie over in the app asked, are you going to do a flip through of Language Lessons 1?
Yes, I'd love to have Kristen to be able to do it. So I've got to figure that out. But another thing we're going to do Thursday during the teaching tips is we're actually going to set the booth up. We set the booth up in the warehouse because so many of our conventions got canceled this year. So many of those got canceled. So we set the booth up. We emptied the trailer, set the booth up. Kristen is actually going to come in with me, and Thursday at 3, we're going to do a tour of the booth, like if we were at the convention center. And if you had questions, we can answer questions. But yeah, Language Lessons 1, we will work to get one way or another. I'll try to get Kristen involved in a live event so we can talk about the series and do a walkthrough of the books. I think I can do that.
I think you can. I believe in you. Tiffany over in the app said, can someone on here fill me in on the info for the timeline packs?
Yes, there's a video on the timeline packs that shows how they're intended to be used and how to use them. It's just a supplement. It's not necessary. But in the books, this is set up so that there are pictures in the book. It's easy for you to take the strips, tape them to the wall, and as you go through a chapter, just cut out that image and put it to the wall. The books are written, history's complicated, right? History is a tapestry. There are different threads, your history, my history, their history. They all go together, and every now and then the threads intersect, but then they kind of separate and come back. So the way this course is written, a timeline really helps put things in context. And so that's what there's a timeline already in there, but this really just uses the images. It's in color and makes it real easy to add a timeline in your classroom.
Great. Hannah over in the Facebook Live said, I have a 5-year-old who is picking up phonics but struggles with writing. Where would he start with language arts?
I would probably, a 5-year-old, I would look at Simply K. I know that it may seem like that's going to be real easy, but I would look at it just for more of the development of motor skills and in that practice of fine motor skills and writing. Maybe do it over the summer or do parts of it. And then do Foundation Phonics, because I think Foundation Phonics, even though if he isn't doing it, it's going to help with more of the writing skills and then go in. At 5, if you're doing a little bit of review, as long as he's okay with it, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I don't think you need to rush. You want them to be able to get those writing skills and the motor skills that are necessary.
Right. Breeze in the original post said, does Principles of Math 2 feed into high school algebra? If you were going to homeschool a senior who needs one math, 1 English, and 1 language credit, what would you suggest? He wants to be able to do well on the ACT.
Okay. Does Principles of Math feed into
high school algebra?
Yes. Yeah, Principles of Math 1 and 2 is a pre-algebra course. We'll set them up fine for algebra like Jacobs, which is a very comprehensive algebra and geometry series. If they, we have an Algebra 2 coming out. So if you're in Principles of Math now, you'll have 3 years of math. By the time you're in your 4th year of math, we'll have probably like a trigger calculus course, I think is what they're talking about next.
Okay, and then if you were going to homeschool a senior who needs 1 math, 1 English, and 1 language credit, what would you suggest? He wants to be able to do well on the ACT.
So depending on what you have on your transcripts, right, I would make sure that your transcript has what's required for what college they're looking for. I'm assuming if he's a senior, he's already had, 3 math courses. And you're going to want to look at what's required. We may not have that this year. Language, you could definitely do something like Jensen's format writing. The back part of format writing, Anna was telling me today, the back part has really good information about writing research reports and doing all of the end notes and that type of thing. So I think format writing would be something that you could do for that. You could definitely do a Stowbuzz literature course, or maybe even one of those, the Great Christian Classics would be a literature. You took that.
Yeah, it was really good.
You enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was similar in style, I would say, to Worldviews and Conflicts.
Okay. But you gained some of the stuff because it's a lot of the foundational type things.
Right. I have a kinder and preschooler next year. What one elective would be fun for both of them to do together?
Kindergarten and preschool.
You could do the book set. What's the 4-book set?
Big Thoughts for Little Thinkers.
Yeah.
Yep, Big Thoughts for Little Thinkers, and God is really, really, really real.
Real. However many reallys you want to use in there, he's really real.
Yes.
God is really, really real has some questions and stuff inside of it, where I think the other set just kind of goes, it's more like reading material than it is like a coursework.
Yes. Yeah, but they're not really courses, but at that age, I would think you would want to just read and discuss.
Right. Amber said, when will World History Timeline Figures 1 and 2 be back in stock?
Actually, those are being worked on. They were a little more complicated than what we anticipated because of the nature of the course. So I would anticipate that within the next week or two, those will be available. We're printing those in-house, so we really just have to kind of get them finalized.
Crystal over in the Facebook live feed said, I know this has been discussed before, but I missed part of it. Do you think with the influx of homeschooling due to COVID-19, should we get on buying for next year?
I don't know. We're shipping books. We have inventory. So, for us, it's business as usual for the most part. There are some delays in some parts of the country. They're not delivering product right at the moment. So if you know what you want and you have the funds, I would probably say it wouldn't hurt you to get it in the queue and get the orders in place rather than waiting until, later. Every day is a new day. We don't really know. We just take it one day at a time. We know what we're capable of today and what the availability is today. It's kind of uncertain times. And so we're doing our best to just roll with the punches with things. So I would probably say if you know what you want, I would probably get your orders in.
Laura said, just started level K math with my 5-year-old son. He is not interested and doesn't take the lesson seriously when I'm doing it with him. He does great with his Simply K lesson. Any suggestions?
The math, sometimes maybe it's kind of a hard one. I'm like stuttering today. I got
tossing them at you.
Oh, look at that. There's a comment that came up.
That's weird.
That is.
We're also doing the new feed. The Facebook is doing a new different format for the live stream. And so some of the comments are coming up on the side and some of them I'm having to just look at on my phone.
That's kind of odd. That's a reply. Sorry, everybody.
A weird game we're playing off of.
At 5, I mean, it could just be that he's not ready. And so it's kind of frustrating a little bit for him. If he's doing good in Simply K, give yourself a little bit and don't push the math. Just every now and then come back to it and test it, see where he is. If he's not really wanting to do it and enjoying it, maybe I would just kind of go slow with that. Work in the areas that he is enjoying, talk about numbers, talk about that thing, but then go a little bit slower. Once he takes an interest in wanting to do it, I think what you'll see is he'll really begin to devour the math. Right. So that would probably be my suggestion.
Good job.
Thank you for the affirmation.
Aaron said, can you compare the high school world history to World Story 2 and 3? I'm trying to teach my 7th and 9th grader together.
World Story, all these big questions. Okay, so World Story is going to be a Charlotte Mason approach, more of a Charlotte Mason approach. It's going to be more of a living story told, going to cover a lot of history. The World History by Stobaugh for high school is going to also be kind of an overview, but the questions are going to be bigger. The newer one does have more true and false multiple choice, but you're really asking the student to develop some of their own thoughts. So maybe a little higher level thinking in the world history for high school. If you're doing 7th and 8th or 7th and 9th, I would probably go with the high school. Unless you were going to do all 3 levels of world story in 1 year, then I would go with the world history.
Awesome.
Having to really go in this.
I mean, I'll shoot you some easy ones. Brooke would like to know, do you have anything for cursive writing or thinking about adding anything?
I know that there's something under review, but there's nothing yet finalized with cursive writing, so I know it is something that's wanted.
Would Intro to Logic be too much for a 7th grader?
No. I think it was originally designed for junior high, isn't it? 7 through 9.
I can double check that while you answer another question. Do you have a U.S. geography history course, like the country's one, coming out?
Yes, that is being sent to printer. I know one of them went to printer last week. The other one's supposed to go the end of this week. So those are expected, hopefully, to be here before like July or August. Lord willing, all the shipping lanes remain open. That's the estimate, is a U.S. geography course this summer.
Awesome. Trying to go back to where I was. For the upcoming physics course, what should a student have taken previously? Just planning and want to make sure we get the right things before we're ready for that.
I think that would be appropriate in like grades 11 and 12. So usually go biology in 9. They take algebra in 9 at the same time, which equips them to do chemistry, and then they would do the physics in grade 11 or 12.
Awesome. So I looked it up, and the logic course is for 8th through 10th. Would you think that it would be too much for a 7th grader?
I think if the 7th grader is interested, isn't interested or would be overwhelmed, I wouldn't push it. I think it's the kind of course where if you're interested in the logic and the argumentation of it, it's going to be great. If I sound like the president, it's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be bigly in every area that we awesomely have. So, amazingly. Yeah. So I would say, man, these questions are like really challenging. 7th grade is just a little bit young, right? So if it's a kid that really loves brain type stuff, the brainiac type kid, then yeah. If not, I would delay it just a little bit because I think they're going to get more out of it like in 9th grade or 10th grade. And if you wait till 9th grade or 10th grade, then you can count it as an elective. So, oops. Whoa.
I scrolled. My bad. Hey, Jess Kaiser, my GIF friend, is watching in the app again. Hey, Jess.
Jess.
Kaiser.
Guess Jizer.
No, Kaiser. We had this conversation.
The K is silent.
It's Kaiser.
Okay.
Heiser. Just
Jizer.
Heiser.
Jeff Heiser. Because if there's a K before an A, it's pronounced as
Right.
Jeff Heiser.
The moderators have been creating memes of Randy, and we keep watching them, and they're so funny, but he keeps calling them mimes, and I'm like, no, they are memes, not mimes.
They're my
gifts. They're not gifts.
They're my gifts.
They're not gifts.
I just did it. Don't do that again.
You're gonna get screenshotted.
You remember a week ago, I was saying that Facebook always catches me in the awkward position, so I went. Ugh. So as I do this pose, somebody grabs it, and I look like a dinosaur coming awake.
You screenshot it, and they were like, "The Randiosaurus has escaped quarantine." I'm like, you're gonna become the next meme of the homeschool world, like
mime. I will be the homeschool mime.
Meme, definitely meme. Michelle asks, when will the revised versions of Stovall's American History and World History student text and teacher guides be available for purchase?
World History has gone to printer, so that should be available within the next month or so. American History, I would expect to be available by, June, July. Best guess.
Awesome. See, that was good.
I got that one. Thank you.
Tiffany asked, for the upcoming physics course, what should a student have taken previously? Oh, I already asked that one. I'm about to be.
I know the answer to that now.
Do you?
Yeah. Take biology, then chemistry, then physics.
Good job. Brittany asks, are there any books that you would add to go with elementary soil, sea, and sky? Would this science be a good choice for 3rd and 5th?
I think those books are awesome because you already have ecology, you have the big book of earth and sky, and then you have the big book of bugs. So you've got 3 pretty decent books. But if you wanted to, you could add the Wonders of Creation series. Now, in the series, you have all 9 books, including ecology, but you could get like the astronomy book, the weather book, fossils, oceans book, caves. I mean, all of those books are just exceptional in a family library. They're kind of earth science from a creation perspective. The cool thing is if you bought them as a supplement for the sea, soil, sky, you could use them as general science 1 and 2 in 7th and 8th grade. So all you'd have to do is buy the teacher guides. So I think that that's like one of the best values is to be able to do that.
Good job. Abby said, I'm wondering what changes are being made to the high school American history. My son is using the current American history.
Can I just say, okay, this is what happens when a millennial becomes the, what are you? I don't know. You're the kind of the helper, but okay, this is what happens because millennials are like, yeah, good job. I need a trophy. We need a trophy. Here you go. So when I do a good job, you can give me a trophy.
I'm going to just keep this over here. Okay, that's what you need.
Affirmation is good.
Okay, here we go. Abby asked, I'm wondering what changes are being made to the high school American history. My son is using the current American history, and I'm trying to decide if I should get my daughter the updated edition. I say yes. I think they've added color to the book. They've modified the questions. I think there's a little more biblical worldview been added to it or being added to it. So I would recommend the upgrade. We wouldn't have upgraded it if it could have gotten, if it wasn't something that would have been valuable. So the upgrade is something that's valuable. There are people who are posting trophies to you. Mandy sent you a trophy in the Facebook Live. So
awesome. Thank you.
Good job. Look, I got you a trophy. Now we're going to flip it over and you've got to answer the next one. Will there be more God's Design for Science beginners coming out?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Heaven and Earth. Heaven and Earth is coming. Yeah. I'm so distracted.
This time you only get a high five. You don't get a trophy.
Yes.
But yes.
God's Design for Heaven and Earth is being done by design right now. It isn't in the catalog. It'll be in the summer catalog, so it'll be available. It should be available for purchase probably June or July.
Kevin says you need coffee today. We're going to get him some coffee after
No,
this.
Usually I'm more on my game than I am today. I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
I don't know.
Tragic. We had a tragedy at our house.
Abby sent you a trophy too. Look at all these people sending you trophies on the affirmation. And I'm the millennial.
We've had this rooster. I'm going to tell the rooster story.
Okay.
It's a sad story, so prepare yourself. We've had this rooster for like 2 years. Kristen raised the chicks, and it wasn't a hen, it was a rooster. And so the rooster's was kicked out of the coop and had to survive. And this rooster has survived for like 2 years. And if you have a rooster, you know that sometimes they can be loud. They can chase you. And I have kind of a horror story from my youth with a rooster that was being prepared for dinner. So I don't enjoy chickens at all. Those are Kristen's chickens. And I respect her chickens, but they're not my chickens. And this rooster certainly wasn't. So last night it's raining and it's cold and I walk out of the house and I walk up to the coop, and the rooster has this little black hen that I could almost get teary. He had this little black hen that he was in love with, and the two of them have been like peanut butter and jelly. I mean, she sneaks out of the coop one way or another. She digs through the wires, everything. So finally we're like, okay, whatever. The two of you, You're just
peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. I mean, you ever heard that? It's like peas and carrots.
I know, but just the likening was just interesting.
So I walk out and it's pouring down rain. It's cold. He's on top of the coop. She's on top of the coop. And she had gone underneath the rooster. And so he's standing over her like this, shielding her from the rain, and she's buried under him. And I was like, "Aw, that is so chivalrous of that rooster to protect that hen." And so for the first time in 2 years, I said, "All right, dude, you win. You have my respect." This morning, as I wake up and look out the window, something had gotten the hen and the rooster. And he was deceased in our lawn. And I'm like, I just got emotionally attached to the rooster. And that night, something came down and got him. Isn't that a sad story?
That is a sad story. So is that why you're struggling today?
I think that's why I'm struggling. I think I'm grieving. I think it's just been one of those days, you know. So I'm sorry. I'm having rooster grief.
Yeah, Jess said, you think when you have a rooster, it will be like those movies where the rooster crows all nice, like in the morning, and that's it. No, they crow all day.
Yeah.
And all night.
Usually about 4 o'clock in the morning, right outside the bedroom window, he starts letting the...
Oh, yeah.
We have a hen house, like a big Tyson chicken is in this area. And so there's a huge egg laying house up behind our house with probably, I don't know how many thousands of hens. And so that rooster thought he needed to let them all know he was the boss. So, okay, so we've gone way off track. I'm sorry about the rooster story.
Debbie in the live stream would like to know if there is any delay in shipping right now.
Not from us. Yeah, I know that there are some areas we've been notified where they're not shipping into residential areas and stuff like that. But we haven't had a lot of those reports. So right now, shipping is still, we're getting orders out really quick, actually. Yeah. We ramped up the warehouse for the coming busy season. So we actually have some really good employees down there, and they're keeping up with orders.
Danielle asked, when does the summer catalog come out? I'm excited to see what will be new for fall. Also, how well should a child read before starting language lessons 1? He is just starting to put sounds together.
Okay, catalog question. We should expect that to hit the door late June, early July. And a lot of the products were in the catalog, the spring catalog that you had. There's like a center page, and there was coming soon. Those are the main products that are going to be in the summer catalog. There may be a couple more. So that's there. What was the second?
How well should a child read before starting language lessons 1? He is just starting to put sounds together.
Foundation phonics is more the reading and some CVC sight words that have some basic understanding before going into language 1. Some of you moms could comment who have been part of who've taken foundation phonics and maybe even basic language skills. I would, if he's just starting to read, and depending on what reading program you're using, you want him reading a little bit before he goes into language lessons 1. He should be reading CVC sight words.
Good job.
And that stands for consonant, vowel, consonant, I've come to understand. So
thank you.
Just so you know.
Thank you for that. I was going to ask, but I was like, I probably should know this, so I won't ask.
Well, for a while, I was like, what does plumbing have to do with reading? Like, CVC? Why would he have to know, like, PVC and CPVC and all those type of things?
I thought it was a pipe.
I thought it was like a plastic pipe. Like, I'm like, why would, you want the kids, are they going to be little plumbers or what? So now I understand. CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant. Dad. They should be able to read dad, mom, pop, those things.
Desiree sent you a double trophy.
Woo! I'm going, man. All right.
Sarah said, hi, any chance for free shipping or sales during the current crisis? Thanks.
So we're getting a lot of this question, actually, and it's a good question, but here's what Master Books did. Master Books early on said, we want to remove friction points. So there isn't a lot of fat in our pricing. Like when you buy from Master Books, you already get a book, $42, you get 26% off. Then if you get 3 or more, you get you get the additional, it bumps up to 30% off. If you get $75, which almost all of 3 or more sets get in the continental US, is free shipping. So the way our pricing model is built is we've already accommodated just about as much as we can. The margin is there. And, you're getting a year's worth of math for 30 some dollars. So we don't have any specials that we're running outside of what we've already been doing in our pricing for the last few years.
Awesome. Kimberly said, "You guys are my bright spot in all this chaos. Whatever you talk about, I'm listening."
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. I don't know what that was,
nice.
But did that make you feel good? It was like a trophy.
That was like a verbal affirmation trophy. I like affirmation. Yeah, affirmation makes the world a better place. Reward the behavior you want. So.
What?
Huh?
I don't know. Okay, so
if you give a trophy for the,
reward the behavior you want. So
when you like something, like what do you do if you see somebody who's doing an act? If they do something amazing, everybody applauds, right? If you go to a dog, like we go to Silver Dollar City, they say, make sure you applaud so they know that you love it.
Okay.
Good job. Even our president says, hey, you better thank me or else. All right. Reward the behavior you want.
Good job. Jessica said, we will be homeschooling a first grader this fall. What do you recommend? Any tips for a first timer?
A first grader?
She said he reads at a 4th grade level.
Yeah, then I would do the readiness test for the math and the language. So, but I would caution it with maybe he reads at a 4th grade level, but does he have the motor skills, the emotion, the stamina, those types of things. So with a student who's maybe gifted, you want to be sure to evaluate it, but I wouldn't like push, right? I have some videos that I've done on not pushing our kids too fast and giving them room. Compared it to Finland and their education system and why they're so much farther ahead than the US because of developmental issues, especially at those ages, 5, 6 years old, 4, 5, and 6, like big ages to let a child know, let you know when they're ready versus pushing them because you want them to be ready.
Good job! Yay! Send him a trophy, everybody. Newbie here. This is from Christina. She said, how many catalogs do you have?
How many catalogs do we have?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Like how many do we have in the warehouse? There's like 30,000 in the warehouse.
Probably like if we just have like one education catalog.
We have one education catalog and then we have one trade catalog. Trade catalog would be books that aren't part of curriculum that we sell through bookstores. Master Books has been producing books since 1976. 75. This is actually our 45th year of publishing books. Yeah, we got to celebrate that. So 45 years of publishing books. So we have a lot of titles that go back. The Maria von Trapp story with The Sound of Music.
Yeah.
We actually have a devotional that she did, one of the first books that we published yesterday. It's kind of a devotional and a story.
Oh,
yesterday, today, and forever. Like we have that one. Like a Mighty Wind is about revival in another country that was some amazing miracles had taken place. We have the Lester Sumrall story. When Tim's father passed away, the first book that Tim was involved with actually was traveling with Lester Sumrall and getting some behind-the-scenes insights into the man's life. So the New Leaf Publishing Group is our parent corporation, and that Master Books, New Leaf Press, and Attic Books are imprints or kind of divisions of New Leaf Publishing Group. So there's a New Leaf Publishing Group catalog, there's a New Leaf Publishing Group website, and then Master Books is the one that's kind of consumer-based and has our curriculum on it.
So how many do we produce a year?
Usually, it depends. We've also got some seasonal catalogs, so we only do 3 or 4 Three to five, I would say.
Awesome. Good job. More trophies. People are sending you lots of trophies.
That's good. I like
lots
trophies.
of affirmation.
Moms of affirmation.
Moms of affirmation.
Sounds like
Keely said CBC, PVC, pretty close, you know.
There is a CPVC. So
CPVC. So you just added in a P.
Yeah.
And Mandy said it's quarantine. It's getting to you.
It could be. I think it's the rooster. I think it's the rooster. I think I'm just dealing with the grief of the rooster.
Loss of the rooster.
I even have like a picture. I gotta show it because nobody's gonna believe this, but last night I
believe that the rooster was actually.
I was so moved by this. Let's see if anybody can you see the picture? I was so moved by it. I actually took out my camera. There's the roo, and there's his hen hiding underneath him last night. I was like, oh, isn't that the sweetest thing? See? That's kind of
tearing.
No, I'm not tearing up. I am
hug.
sad. Thanks, Pratt.
Send more trophies, guys. Send more trophies. Everybody's going on.
I know.
I'm trying to find some more questions. I know there were some in the app that I got to go back to. I bought the grade 2 bundle and I'm wanting to add Adventures in Creation 2. Would that be too much to add with the God's Design?
No, I don't think so. I think you could do both. They're both 3-day courses, so you could just alternate them, and I think you'd be fine.
Tiffany said, "Oh, sent a bunch of sobbing faces. You deserve all the trophies."
See, thank you.
Helena had asked, we are about halfway through basic language skills. Would it be worth going or getting language lessons 1 once we are done, or should we just go straight to level 2? Good question.
You're done with basic language skills.
So let's replace it as language lessons 1. So she's asking if she should go into language lessons 1 or go into language lessons 2.
I would say go to language lessons 2. I mean, there's some new content and it's a little more robust in 1. But if you finished it and you would be going into grade 2, I would just go to level 2.
Ash asked, she said, my first grader gets so discouraged with reading. This is her 2nd year in 1st grade. We are coming from a private school with a rigorous curriculum, Rebecca, that has made her hate reading. I feel I need to restart school with her. Any ideas? FYI, she is dyslexic. Everything is backwards, and she just got classes for vision issues as well. Classes. I don't know why I said classes. Suggestions?
Yeah, I wouldn't. At that age, you've got time, right? So I don't know that I wouldn't be I would look at maybe going back and doing something like, if she's frustrated, do foundation phonics, and don't do it like, okay, we've got to go back and this is, we've got to work our way ahead. We got to catch up. Just do it from the standpoint of you've done a great job. You've worked hard to get here. Let's just do some review so that we help strengthen our skills, and let's enjoy the review. And so who cares? Throw the grade thing out. Let's focus on learning to read. And once we learn to read, then we'll move into, language lessons 1. So yeah, I think I would look at maybe doing foundations phonics, and maybe even do it like foundation phonics is awesome because each letter is tied to a biblical concept. So you could even do foundation phonics like a morning basket, and kind of here's our devotional, right? And sneak it in that way, but just make it relaxed and be like, we're just going to strengthen skills because that's what we can do, because we can. We're going to do it because we can. Okay.
Good job. More trophies. People are sending trophies. They're sending chickens and hearts. They're saying
chickens and caskets.
Rip the rooster and the chicken.
That's sad.
Well, we did. They were saying rest in peace, Rue.
I know.
We'll get through this together. You're not alone in this.
I can't even believe that I am so emotionally attached to all this time, if something had happened to him 2 days ago, I would have been like, served you right, man. You've woken me up every day for 2 years. And you know.
Angela O'Dell said he woke her up at 4:30 in the morning when she came to visit us.
Yeah. Yeah. He just, usually about 4:30 is when he had to let the neighborhood know he was the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 2 days ago, we have an American Bulldog that's, 100 pounds?
Here we go.
And 2 days ago, I'm looking into the yard, and the Bulldog would grab him by the neck and throw him in the air. But that's how they played. Like, the Bulldog would have scars and stuff all over her face and shoulders because the root would just come full on.
Yeah, she's going to be so bummed out.
She is, because like her playmate since she was a puppy is not there. Yeah, so you're going to have to go out in the backyard and play with Annie.
No. I'm not a big animal person. That may get me a lot of hate, but I'm not really a big dog or cat or chicken person. It's just not my style. Tiffany asks, she said, we were working through God's Design for Physical World with my 4th and 6th grader now. Would God's Design for Life be appropriate for next year for grades 5 and 7?
God's Design for Physical World? God's Design for Life?
God's Design for Life.
Sure.
If I did not read that, I am sorry.
Yeah.
I've had no affirmation this entire video.
It's
all on to you.
It's all about me. Typical Generation X narcissist. Well, as long as we're offending millennials, might as well offend Generation X.
Are you Generation X?
Yeah.
Oh. So you're stealing all my millennial affirmation.
Well, I'm still bitter because you came in and people, Generation X.
People love us.
Generation X typically is like, give me a break. The millennials could, suck it up, buttercup. That's kind of the Generation X's attitude towards millennials. When millennials need affirmation and melting down, Generation X is like, seriously.
Oh, so because I'm saying you stole all my affirmation, you're going to be like,
buttercup.
Fine.
It wasn't
doing what you were doing.
It wasn't your rooster.
It wasn't my rooster. Fine. I'll continue without affirmation.
Okay, so what was the question again?
We were working through God's Design for Physical World with my 4th and 6th grader now.
Yes.
Would God's Design for Life be appropriate for next year, 5 and 7?
You could do either one. I mean, at that level, you could even do chemistry. They're not sequential.
Okay, that was going to be my question. Good job.
Usually, good job for you asking a good question.
Thank you.
Trophies for you too, Brett. Here, I'll share. We'll share our trophy together.
Aww.
Okay. Yeah, typically in 3rd grade, we wouldn't recommend doing one of the more advanced for a 3rd grader. We'd recommend like God's Design for Life in 3rd grade. And then working, but at those 2 ages, you're fine.
Good job. Sunshine asks, or she just wanted to say, my son was told he needed to repeat 1st grade in public school. I just started him over with Foundation Phonics, and he's really loving it. He feels successful.
That's awesome. I'll be right back.
Do you need it with the K? He'll be right back. And he's coming. I'm going to look. The comments in this new Facebook thing aren't updating, so we're going to have to look into that the next video that we do.
I see that. Okay.
It's the affirmation button.
Believe it or not, there are affirmation buttons that if you need emergency affirmation. Isn't that nice?
So this one's for you. Ready, guys? And if you don't understand it, it's saying you are awesome. That's what we believe here at Master Books. We believe that you, each and every one of you, is awesome. High five.
All right.
That's all, folks.
Got the questions?
I got the questions. Like I said, Facebook is having a hard time updating, keeping up with the comments.
Yeah, like the replying to people is on. My comments are not updating either.
Yeah, so maybe what we'll do is we'll just kind of go through the comments from the video. We'll go back through later today and just kind of hit anything we might have missed.
Yeah.
I tried to ask as many questions as I saw.
You were seeing questions come in?
I saw some questions, but I didn't see all of them come in on Facebook Live.
Okay. Sorry. Facebook says, okay, we're switching over to a new format. You have to do it. So So we'll try to figure that out.
Figuring it out.
But hey, join us in the app. The app is awesome. And if you're on iPhone or you're on Android, just go into your app store, type in Master Books, and it will come up with the app. There's different groups in the app if you're not familiar with it. So we have groups for dads, we have groups for military, groups for road schooling. We have groups for a chapel where they do a devotion every day. They do an awesome job. You're part of getting the chapel stuff. Can't see.
I'm trying. What do they do on YouTube?
Turn it a little bit.
The hand, which isn't helping me at there we oh no, the hand does help. It's magic. You get the point. It's awesome.
That's going to be what's on Facebook.
I know,
that's doing that.
Me. We're all like, okay.
Yeah. So join us for the app. Thursday, we'll do the virtual tour of the homeschool booth. I think that'll be awesome. Friday, if you were part of the last Friday, Jake McCulley and I did an overview of government. Jake is a Constitution expert. This coming Friday, we're going to do one at 3, separation of church and state. What does that mean? And how does that affect us today? And so,
Good question.
I think so, because it's pretty relevant right now.
Right now, yeah.
With what's going on and in the future too. So we'll have that. So I'm looking forward to this week. Should be a good week. So
it will.
Have
we'll
Mom on Thursday. I'm not fully over my grief. I'm just in shock.
We'll get you over it.
Oh, yeah.
But the virtual tour will be really cool. I don't like having a VR headset on. You just put on your Facebook Live and follow along. We'll wear the arms. I'll be your arms. I'm going to strap the camera to my head.
Okay.
And be the arms while you and Mom show me around.
Yeah. When Mom is in a booth with me, it's like, because Mom knows what she's talking about, and I think I do okay, but I sell from a different angle sometimes than Mom does, so it can be 2 experiences.
Oh, so they could choose. Maybe we'll do a video with Christian and a video with Randy, and I'll VR headset.
It'll be 2D. It'll be 2D. Yeah. But I defer to her for that. So.
Good job.
All right, guys. It was nice connecting with you. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your time. And we certainly do appreciate everything that you do. And feel free to, I guess, questions that are being posted here, are we able to see them and answer?
I think they're coming in.
Okay.
I think.
And I think we saved this so that it will continue recording, or it'll stay. Yeah. Okay.
Good job.
All right, guys. God bless. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
Bye.